You gonna break through the border? And
Well, I can go through the border, no problem, dude.
All right, guys.
Oh, okay.
So welcome tonight. We have a ragtag group here to go through the matchups for King Beyond the Wall 2, the Kingening Redux. It's the second time we've tried to run this tournament, so hopefully it goes off without a hitch this weekend. So we got at the top of here. Well, I'm me, Alex, the TO.
Blocked my name right now.
Personality and Kings of War personality and counter charge sometimes host. We got Jay Rosado of the new Northeast War Kings.
That's right.
We got Justin Berg out of Buffalo.
Yep.
We got Mike McCready of the 17 different McCready brothers and A-team member, and Skullface himself.
Skullface. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for having me. Pleasure.
I love how you're saying welcome.
Welcome. You're all welcome to my presence.
Yeah.
Over the internet. Thank you, Alex.
My pleasure. It's now K2's live stream, and he will commence.
And you're taking
hosting.
over.
All right. I haven't read any of the lists.
Perfect.
We're all ogres, so you're good.
Just hot takes right off the top. No, premeditation. Just whatever you see. So, just as I was gonna go right into the matchups, but this is for entertainment purposes only. Don't take anything we say seriously because none of us know what we're talking about.
It's true. I don't think a single one of us made masters ever. So
I saved both of my brain cells today for this. I didn't use either of them. So
I speak for yourself. I qualified for masters and went and won one game.
63rd place.
Huh?
Nice.
I got
63rd place.
63rd place.
There you go.
And
that officially makes Skullface the best player on the cast.
He lost to a literal ape. An actual ape was playing against him.
Yeah.
So we're just going to be talking about the lists. We don't know the scenario yet because I am not organized enough to actually roll that up for us tonight.
I can do it right now, man.
So we're just going to talk. And everyone who's going to be there this weekend is an awesome dude. So, and they're good players. So I think we're just going to talk about the lists and how we think they match up. So without further ado, first matchup is Ryan King versus Mike McCready on the cast. So
who's this McCready guy?
Some scrub from Chesley, I think.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Jay, do you want to read Mike's list?
Mike's list. Yeah, let me just pop that up here.
Yeah.
Imperial Dwarves. I don't think he got the message 3rd edition happened, but okay. So we have 2 regiments of Iron Guard, both with throwing mastiffs. 1 horde of shield breakers with the push and the caterpillar with throwing mastiff. A horde of bulwarkers with the hammer and measured force throwing mastiff. 2 troops of sharpshooters, just naked. 2 regiments of Brocks, 1 with blessing the gods, 1 with brew of strength. 2 mastiff packs regiments. A berserker lord with the blade of the beast slayer mounted. A dwarf army standard bearer with the loot. And a steel juggernaut with pipes of terror. That's a really cool little twist there.
Nice. All right, so now we have Ryan King's Night Stalkers, which I will read. So we got Night Stalkers, 3 hordes of scarecrows, 2 regiments of reapers, both with scream shard, 1 with boots of striding, 1 with caterpillar, 2 troops of phantoms, a horde of butchers, 2 mind screeches, 2 regiments of soul flares, and a horror with the vicious aura and bane chant instead of lightning bolt. All right, so who wants to go first?
I will. I have a question, Mike. How come your dogs aren't throwing dogs when everything else in your list throws dogs?
I agree.
How 100% valid question. Mike, defend yourself.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Just ran out of dogs.
Okay, perfect.
That's fair.
All right.
So I'll go first if somebody else isn't going to.
Go for it.
Ryan King. All right. I want to go over his list first because I like Night Stalkers. The Reapers are awesome. I think that's the best unit almost in 3rd edition. I don't know why I don't see more Night Stalkers taking regiments of Reapers.
Ron.
Ron or wrong?
That is Ron. They are not the best unit.
I mean, more X are.
Yeah. More X troops.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
Right.
The 3 hordes of scarecrows, that's really like they don't hit hard, but that's really scary to go against. You're going to be grinding that pretty much all game. 2 mind screeches, I really like that. I'd go 3 if you could, but you can't. Butchers without an item, I'm kind of confused, but I don't really play the list, but I think they would need some sort of movement item, but I guess the Reapers got those. And yeah, I think all around it's a good list. I really like the Bane Chant. Or not the Bane Chant, the Vicious Aura on the Horror.
Yeah, because it's going to be with buffing the Reapers and the Scarecrows. Like they hit on 5s, but if they're vicious,
they hit enough.
The Bane Chant, yeah, they got enough attacks.
Yeah,
the Bane
and I
Chant
really like.
viciousness.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure about. Oh, it's replacing Lightning Bolt with Bane Chant. Okay, cool. Yeah. No, that's the right move. Cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, but then you got 2 hordes of Brox on the other, or 2 regiments of Brox on the other side, which are kind of really good at chewing through low defense hordes.
That's true.
But Ryan also has the 2 Soulflare regiments that are really good at wind blasting those Brox out of charge range, which makes it rough.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's going to be a good matchup overall, honestly.
Everybody knows Wind Blast isn't a thing. It doesn't work. It never works. Like, you put your war drum behind the regiment, and then there's no more Wind Blast.
Yeah, Mike just needs to put his war drum behind his units.
Yeah,
well, I think my personal opinion about Wind Blast there is it's kind of one of those things where it's like Fireball on or like Fire Breath on a dragon. It's like, are you gonna Wind Blast or are you gonna charge me? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's gonna depend on how patient Ryan can be. Because I know Mike can be patient with this list. He's gonna make Ryan. He's gonna give some tough charges. There's a lot of defense 6 in those Iron Guard and the Shield Breakers, or sorry, the Bulwarkers, I guess it's defense 5 now, but it's a lot of high defense to chew through. And again, they're kind of similar lists in that they have like a good support shooting with the Mind Screeches and then the Sharpshooters.
Do we have a feeling for how much experience these guys have with these lists?
This will be Ryan's first in-person game. He's been playing on UB since last year, but he hasn't put the army on the table yet.
Okay,
so
it's all right though. It's. I know Mike's been playing dwarves since he's played, right?
Yeah. So there will be a definite experience advantage, but I think the lists match up well. So what do you guys say, Jay?
I think I'm going to give it to Mike just because I played against him, and I know he knows how to get out of sticky situations, and I don't know the other guy. And like, I just mean that in general for like the 3 hordes of scarecrows that can really suck for most people, but I feel like he would avoid them correctly, if that makes sense.
How about you, Justin?
I actually want to go with Ryan because the 3 hordes of scarecrows are really difficult to deal with for most lists. And sure, like Mike's got the tools to deal with it, but he doesn't have the tools to deal with that and Reapers at the same time and the Soul Flares. So I think Ryan's going to take this one.
All right. Mike, you going to back yourself? Or
Mike,
recuse yourself?
The Night Stalker list makes me a little nervous. It makes me a little nervous. Lie. It's got enough punch that it can get through my high defense. I don't like facing Reapers. It's kind of like facing, the light version of Soul Reavers. I mean, I gotta vote for myself, but the Night Stalker list makes me nervous.
All right, K2.
I'm going with Mike on this because dwarves are good, and there's things in that Night Stalker list that it's missing like the all the things I hate. Like, so yeah, I mean, it depends though, because this Ryan guy, he's just been playing on the internet. So maybe in person, you find out that he's like a 7'4" like giant of a man.
That's true.
And you know, he could just intimidate Mike just by his presence, and really win the game. You know, just on intimidation.
And Mike has
intimidation factor.
Mike has a new child. He might be sleep deprived. Yep.
Oh man. So I mean, obviously Ryan. Now I'm thinking Ryan's going to win, but you know, barring that he's some crazy man of the north that's you know, full on Viking. I think Mike's got this. That's my professional analysis.
All right, so we got 3-1 for Mike for the first matchup. So next matchup we have is Nathaniel Whitfield versus Ray Shields.
Oh boy.
Oof. Oof. Sorry, Nathan.
Yeah, so we got Nathan's list up here for Justin to read.
He starts off with 3 dwarf clansmen. One has Blessings of the Gods, or 3 dwarf clansmen regiments, I guess.
Yeah, so this is the Northern Alliance.
Troops and regiments only.
Yeah, so yeah, Nathaniel's bringing Northern Alliance, true Canadian Army.
That's fair. It's got one of the dwarf clansmen has Blessing of the Gods, and then 3 hordes of ice elementals. One has Caterpillar, one has Sharpness, one has Slashing. I feel like that Blessing of the Gods should be on that 3rd horde, but that's just me. And then you got a Frost Giant, 2 Ice Queens with Surge and Icy Breath 10, Harim, the best giant in the game, with his Icy Breath 12, and then Sikarina, the Ice Queen, with the Surge and the very important Wind Blast.
Okay. Let's go for the Ice Elemental spam list with some giant support. Not bad. Then we got Ray Shields. He's bringing Trident Realms. You're going to need a bigger boat, he says. All right, Mike, do you want to read Ray's list?
Yeah, sure.
You want to take part, Mike? You here?
It starts with a couple of troops of Riverguard Tree Leapers, and then the obligatory...
You're breaking up a little
bit. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Got me? I can read it.
Great.
Yeah, K2.
So Ray...
Oh. Go ahead, Mike.
Uh-oh.
Or you're breaking up again. We're going to just give K2 the list for now.
Yeah, you're fired.
Try.
Hey,
go K2.
All right, I'm going. All right. Trident Realm. You're going to need a bigger boat, Ray says. And he's got 2 troops of Riverguard Tree Leapers, 2 regiments of Naiad Heart Piercers, 2 regiments of Tidal Swarms, a horde of Naiad Worm Riders, a horde of Riverguard Dam Busters, well, I'll be damned, 2 Knuckers, and 2 Naiad Worm Rider Centurions, and an Ector. And that's 18 unit strength, 13 unit drops, 1995. That's Ray.
Nice. All right, guys. First impressions?
I'm going to start because it's just a very not Trident Realm list I'm used to. Like, there's no Gigas, there's like actors there, but I don't know, I've never seen a list like this, so I'm just kind of... I know Ray's a good player, so he's probably going to make it work, but I just think it's just a weird list in general.
Yeah, he's been playing some variation of this list since the Call to Arms last summer, so he's...
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, the Naiad Horde, like, one of the Elvenkind used to be what you took on them. I'm not sure that's what you should be taking anymore, but I don't really know the list. I've played against a very specific version of the list a couple times, but
yeah.
Actor is always a pain in the ass, so that's the right move for sure. What else can I really say about this? The River Dam Busters, I've always liked the entry. I've never really seen them in play, but I think like the Enthrall is a really, really cool rule that a lot of people just like glaze over and they're like, whatever, it's not that much. But when you're pulling Naiads into your or Worm Riders into your flank, it's a huge deal. So.
Yeah. So just
I'm
just
excited to see what happens.
some rough numbers here. Ray has 8 nimble units. So 8 of his 13 drops are nimble, plus Ector.
Yeah, that's
So-
true.
So the title swarm, actually the title swarms are as well. So they're 10 of his 13 drops are nimble, and then one of them is an individual deal. Only thing that aren't nimble are the heart piercers.
Yeah, and they're not moving anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's it could be scary.
Yeah, and then there's the dam busters. They fly. The
Yeah.
tree leapers fly. So this is a really deceptively mobile list. It's not like super
But I think-
fast, but
I think he drew a bad opponent for his list, really, with all the icy breath and all that stuff.
yeah, there's a lot of piercing, shooting, which is
Yeah.
not what Trident Realm ever want to see.
And the slowing down and all that stuff. Yeah, that could be
Mhm.
really hard for him.
Yeah, he's got a lot of speed 7. So it's like if you get iced and you're speed 6, that speed advantage is significantly less.
I don't know.
The Trident Realm list seems like real finesse. Like it's cool, all that nimble. I mean, I don't think it hits awfully hard, or at least not as hard as I'm used to seeing stuff. But if it's flanking you and everything, I mean, but he's got to get in there, and the icy breath is just annoying, really. So I'm rooting for Ryan. I mean Ray. Sorry, Ryan's the last guy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean that ice breath stuff. I mean that's like, that's kind of the new hotness, right? But I'm rooting for this list by Ray. I hope it wins.
Having had the privilege of playing against Ray like a year and a half ago at 2,300 points against a very similar version of those lists, that list is terribly difficult to play against because it's super grindy, even though you don't think it is, and it still hits harder than you think it should. Like, so it plays well like that. And the problem I'm looking at this ice list is there's nothing to stop these 18-inch nimble charges when your threat range is only 16 with the icy breath.
Shut that breath down.
Right. There's no snow foxes to put,
Yeah.
in front of your base so they can't charge your ice elementals. Right. The dwarf clansmen have 100 mil base and the ice elementals have 120, and nimble don't care about that.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be very clever of his use of his frost giant and Hrim. I think that's gonna make a big. He's gonna have to use them kind of as like chaff anvils to kind of like protect his ice elementals if he can. Not to give you any tips, Nate. You're a good player, but
See, on the other side of the things, though, like, I don't know. I feel like Nate isn't going to be scared about taking a couple charges, even if it's like a flank charge from a Knucker in one of the hordes, because he has the Radiance of Life. Like, it's going to suck, but I think he outgrinds the list for sure.
Well, his ice quicks don't have heal.
Yeah, but he has
So it
Radiance
doesn't
of
really-
Life from Serena or Sarika.
Right, but that's one, right? That's not, four more or 5 more on top
Right,
of that.
yeah,
with
yeah.
double,
No, I mean,
you know what
outgrinding. And if he loses a Horde of Ice Elementals, it's not the, end of the world, but it would suck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
yeah, the dwarves are defense 5 and 14-16, so it's a lot of defense 5 nerve to chew through as well. So, what do you guys think,
Oh, Ray.
Jay?
I don't know. I don't want to say Ray just because I know he's a really good player, but I think. Well, I mean, I've never played against the other guy, and I know Ray is finesse with most of the stuff. So, if he's writing a list like that, he's got to be confident about it. I don't know. It's
I
kinda
think if
really hard
Nate
to
can manage the shooting lanes well enough, he has a chance here for sure.
I don't know. I'm just gonna black sheep and give it to the other guy, Nathan, because I just really like that list. Like, I really think that list is tough as nails, and you're like even getting hit a couple times, it's not gonna really move. So I'm gonna give it to him.
Yeah, I'm Ray because I like frogs.
Thanks,
K2 is Team Frog.
Yep,
All right.
they're green.
I'm gonna give it to Nate. I think he can do it. The
Awesome.
nimble's gonna be a pain in the butt, but I think he can do it.
Oh, so tied.
I guess the main reason I'm going for Nate is sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Just talk there.
That's
Is
all right.
I play against Trident Realms often, and my army is kind of similar. Like, it has a lot of bricks that don't really move, and most of the stuff just bounces off, and then I kill it the next turn.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough matchup. Just to break the tie, I think I'm going to vote for Ray because I know he's been using this list, and I think it's sneaky. It's going to get flanks. So, and there's a lot of medium nerve in Nathaniel's list. So those flanks are going to hurt quite a bit. So I'm going to give it to Ray. So, third matchup. We got Steve MacArthur and his Ogres versus Erasmus Berger and his Night Stalkers. So, Mike, you got your audio sorted out, and where's Steve's list? Here you go. The one he didn't put his name on his list.
How
So
dare
here you
he?
Demerit.
How
Shame.
rude!
So, Steve's got a troop of Red Goblin Scouts with nothing, a regiment of Warrior Chariots with Sir Jesse's boots, a horde of Boomers naked, 2 regiments of Berserker Braves, one with Liliana's Tear and the other naked, 2 hordes of Siege Breakers, as you do, one with Headstrong and one with Fury, a giant, a magnificent giant.
It is a fantastic giant.
An Ogre Warlock with Drain Life and the Conjurer's Staff, and then the standard other assortment of spells. A Berserker Bully with the Inspiring Talisman, and Nom.
As you do.
Yeah.
All right, and then Erasmus, he has Night Stalkers. All right. Dreads Drudges. He's going for the hobby points, folks. I think he's writing some fluff for this army. All right, I got Night Stalkers, Scarecrows Horde with Scream Shard, a regiment of Doppelgangers, a regiment of Shadowhounds with the Chalice of Wrath, 2 hordes of Butchers, a planar apparition named Lady Dread, two regiments of Soul Players, a Shadow Hulk, 2 Dread Fiends, and a Butcher Flesh Ripper. I'm loving this themed list.
See, that's
Those
got all
characters are
the
good.
stuff I hate.
Yeah.
I hate all that stuff.
I hate all that stuff.
Okay, so first impressions, folks.
Sorry to always start. I just figure I'd jump ahead.
We know you can't control yourself, Jade. So
No, I mean, nobody else jumped up, so I'm just gonna go for it. The Ogre list, it's pretty good. I think. I don't know. I really haven't played much against Ogres, but I think the Chalice of Wrath and Dwarven Ale is absolutely the right moves on the Siege Breakers.
Must-haves.
I've never played against an Ogre Giant, so I don't really know how good they are. It looks pretty good on paper, though.
Aren't they the same as every other giant? I mean,
pretty much.
It's a giant.
It's a giant. He's pretty cool. Conjurer's Staff, Drain Life.
Is amazing.
Oh, it has Lightning
Yeah.
Bolt 3. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Berserker
Drain Life
Bully.
backing and Heal backing up Siege Breakers is a huge pain in the ass.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, even the Drain Life with the Berserker Bully going into some of the Night Stalkers is enough.
Or even Berserker Braves. Like that dash 15 is deceptive. If you don't have a lot of shooting to ping them off and return 1 or 2, like that sticks around. They stick around way too long.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
they're surprisingly fast, the Braves and the Bully.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty good list. The other list, though, where is it?
And those Dread Fiends are amazing for their
Get
points.
there?
For
Incredible.
135,
I think
Incredible.
the Dread Fiends are awesome. The Flesh Ripper is cool. I'm kind of confused with the Shadow Hounds. I think they're just not as good as other options, but maybe
They-
it's just a
They're
model.
fast and
they're still
nimble.
speed 9 nimbles, not bad.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
I mean,
bad, but I mean,
they're-
like
They're gonna
speed
grab a
nimble.
token or
Yep.
sit on something. Yeah,
Yeah.
claim a quarter.
The one thing is that Steve has not a lot of lightning bolt. But he has enough to be a problem that will ignore stealthy. So he might be able to waver those Shadow Hounds because that's
Well, he's only got the one source, right? He's only got the
was it
Yeah,
oh, no,
he's
nom, right?
Nom and the Warlock, right?
Yeah.
So
And
that's-
honestly, like their Thunder's one. Does he have Baneshine in his list? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
Thunderous One isn't going to do anything against Siege Breakers.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Yeah, he does not have.
Well, in the flank, it's
doesn't
not
have Baneshine.
terrible, but
Yeah, he doesn't have a horror with Baneshine or anything.
So I don't know. It's a different list. I'll give him that. I don't know. I think definitely the ogres have this, in my opinion. The doppelgangers might be a huge problem for the siege breakers, but other than that, I'm not really not convinced.
Doppelgangers might be, but if he gets the Braves into the Doppelgangers, they're just dead before they can do anything.
That's true. Yeah.
I like Butcher Hordes backed up by Planar Apparition. That's a pretty solid core.
Yeah.
But
and the Shadow Hulk too for the heal, because Fearless 20 is never bad.
Yep. He's got that solid block in the middle that he can just kind of, and so does Steve, right? He's got the two Siege Breaker Hordes with the Giant. They're pretty similar in a lot of ways.
So Steve's not relying on shooting in this ogre list, which kind of negates the advantage that the Night Stalkers would normally have against, shooters and boomers and those kind of things.
Steve is definitely, he's kind of gone away from his double shooter horde army.
Yeah, so the melee heavy ogre list, I think we'll be able to take the Night Stalkers apart.
Yeah, so that's 2 for Steve's ogres. What do you got, Justin and K2?
I'm gonna say tie. Honestly, no, I gotta pick one.
Choose.
Not an option.
I'm gonna vote for Erasmus just because I think the double Dread Fiend and the Butcher Flesh Ripper, they just are amazing. They're just force multipliers. That's one thing that Steve's list doesn't really have outside of the Berserker Bully.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm on Team Ogre. So I mean, I just think ogre lists are very slippery, and man, Berserker, those little Berserker troops or regiments or whatever you call them, I think they're excellent. And the Chariot Horde, is it a horde? Well,
it's a regiment.
It's only a regiment.
Okay, Chariot Regiment. That's kind of interesting for the points. I don't know if this was a 2,300 point tourney, if that regiment wouldn't be a legion or something. But I like the footprint of the regiment. And it's better than an orc regiment of chariots. So more points, but I think it's just a better unit all told. I don't know. I mean, that when you come to grips with Night Stalkers, they're just awfully squishy. I find like they go splat really easy.
Right.
There's a lot of hitting on 4s as well, I think, which is good.
Yeah.
Like the nimble heroes will be able to help that in the soul flayers, but I think they're very similar lists. But you guys voted 3-1, so my vote doesn't count. So that's 3-1 for Steve.
Way to just cop out, so you're the nice guy.
Well, Steve can't beat me, so I'm going to vote for Erasmus.
Okay. And Erasmus does have a way cooler name than him.
It's
just
true.
giving him that. Yeah.
You know what? Erasmus is the only one that so far that I know is going for all the hobby theme points. So I'm going to give him the nod.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that's pretty cool.
Okay, so 3-2 for Steve. So next matchup, this will be a good one. All of them are good matchups, but this one seems interesting to me.
We like all the matchups equally.
Yeah,
but this one's extra special.
Equally special, but this one's also special. So we got Matt Vermeeren and his orcs versus John McCready and his ogres.
Yes, yes.
That's a strange one.
All right.
Hey, you take it away.
I'm fucking taking this one. On. Let
here's
Jack
Matt's
finish his barking. All right, so Matt's got orcs, and all right. So first up, 2 regiments of Morax, fantastic. 2 regiments of axe, okay. A horde of great axe with brew sharpness. That's disgusting. 2 regiments of fight wagons, which are dash 15 with 18 attacks. So I love it. Defense 5. 2 war drums, a crudger. Let's read the fine print here. Blade of slashing, orcish skull pull, the bloody banner of Gakamak. And that's it for 115 points. And then a crudger on winged slasher with brew of haste. Fair play.
That's disgusting.
Nice. Love it.
Crusher, mace of crushing, mounted on gore for sweet 80 points. Total unit strength 23, which is fantastic, and 12 drops.
All right. Pretty solid. orc list. We've got John McCready's Dirty Ogres. So who's next? Is it me?
I think
Or
it's
is
me.
it-
I think you just
Okay.
did.
Yep, Jay.
So it's 2 regiments of Berserker Braves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hordes of Siege Breakers. Classic John McCready style.
Yeah.
Ogre Warlock, Inspiring Talisman, Drain Life. Sergeant Naked, Berserker Bully Naked, and Numb. Come on, John. Come on, dude. Just because your Elven Archers got nerfed, man. Come on. You don't got to pull this shit up.
Yeah.
I think it's. I saw this list earlier and I was just. I don't know. I think it's a really, really good list, but
I don't want to face it. I don't want to face
that's-
either of
it's
these
just
lists.
not fun. No. I think it's a really good list. I
Yeah.
know Matt's a really good player though, so.
So one thing, John's been working on this. It's all the troll bloods from Warma Hordes. It looks really good, and I know
Yeah.
Matt's been upgrading his paint on his orcs this whole time during the pandemic. So this is going to be a really nice looking table, gotta say.
So the Great Axe Horde can mulch Siege Breakers. I don't know if much else in Matt's list will be able to. It's got a lot of Crushing 1, but against Dev 6, how much is that really going to matter?
And that 250 base size is going to hurt too, because
Yeah.
it can only kill one Siege Breaker horde at a time.
Yeah.
Mhm. And
Well,
it's
I
gonna be
mean-
tough to get into a Siege Breaker horde too.
Yeah, it's about getting the flanks there.
Yeah.
To get the defense 4 or whatever it is, defense 5.
Yeah.
Although the fight wagons outrange them, and the
Mhm.
dragon does. The
I think
dragon's
it's-
22. That's disgusting. I
The
love it.
Dragon's gonna
dragon-
be a problem.
Ogres never want to see a dragon.
Yeah, because
And
there's no shooting there. There's like no
There's no
shooters. There's no
boomers.
boomers.
There's just 2 warlocks, Nom and a warlock, and the bully can kind of mitigate it to a certain extent, but it's going to be tricky.
The
Yeah,
Bully
these
and the Braves do kind of mitigate the fight wagon's speed advantage a bit,
Hmm.
but that dragon's a problem for sure.
There's no Bane chant in Matt's list. It's true. I think the
True.
the great axe with brew of sharpness is like, I mean, unbelievable. Like, how is that's gonna kill everything? Everything. Like
Can kill a lot of things.
I'm having visions of unbelievable bloody fury right now looking at that. It makes me aroused, quite honestly. So I love that, and I mean that's a 300 point Death Star. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. The Crudger, so that's going to give the Morax a bit of a speed advantage on like everything except for maybe the Braves, because they're going to be wild charge D3 +1 if they're nearby that, if you can line that up, and then everything is going to be anything that's within 6 inches of gets wild charge 1. He's got a lot of heavy infantry here. Just the fight wagons won't benefit from that. It's a lot of crushing. I know it's a lot of defense 6, but like it's just a wall of ogres. I mean, it's just a wall of ogres. You can jump over the top and get behind that with that wind slasher and fuck them all up. I'm going with Matt. Solid.
I
Or
too am
victory.
going with Matt, and not for any of the reasons K2 said, but because that Crusher has Crushing 2 on it, and that's going to matter. It's going to do that one wound that no one thought it's going to do, and it's
Yeah.
going to stop something.
I gotta give style
Like-
points. He's got a crusher with the Mace of Crushing, so
Yep.
I love
That's
it.
true. That's actually true.
Yeah, I mean, you do that before the Blade of Slashing in terms of the Crusher, but that Crusher is like the best individual in the game. One of them, 80 points. It
Yeah,
is.
he's pretty good.
It's
pretty
3
great.
attacks, Crushing 2 for 80 points. It's amazing.
Solid value.
It's all value. Anyways, I know we all are thinking the Siege Breakers are going to murder a lot, and they'll kill a lot of armies, but these are orcs, so I think Matt's
true.
got this.
And at the end of the day, even with the war drum support, an Axe Horde is not going to be a sure thing for a Siege Breaker Horde either.
Oh yeah, that's
If Matt wanted to use an Axe's chaff or whatever,
Yeah,
well,
so
it's
it's not
defense
that's
5,
not-
so
Yep.
It's just axe regiments, not axe hordes.
Oh,
Yeah.
regiments,
Kill
yeah.
them.
but
For
that's still 15, 17.
That's
with
still-
the war
yeah.
drum.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it to Matt I think he can. I think he can pull this one out, and I have a compulsion against voting for John. So
It is your brother. That's not
Yeah,
fair.
that's fair.
I would definitely vote against Josh. That's for sure. I'm gonna also give it to Matt, just because I know how good of a player Matt is, and not saying John's not a good player. John's also a really good player, but
No,
I
he's
think
not.
Matt is gonna use his list because he's been playing orcs pretty much exclusively since Kings of War came out, or since he's been playing. So
Yeah, exactly. He's hardcore. I mean, full disclosure, Matt's in a lot of trouble here, but I've just been so convincing that I've managed to give you a landslide vote.
You have swung the panel.
Yes.
But I think I
orcs
agree with
win.
all you guys. The Crusher is going to be the big Achilles heel to John. Just because the Crusher, charging Nom and shutting down his lightning bolts and stuff like that,
Yeah,
that's
fuck
going to be
that
a
guy.
huge deal because the rest of your army is really slow and you can't really stop him from getting there unless you're lightning bolting him, and that's fine too. I don't know.
It's so we got a clean sweep, 4-zip for Matt.
Sorry, John.
John and
Take
his
your list
disgusting
elsewhere,
ogres.
John, 4-1 still respectable. Okay.
I think this is John's submarine game. So,
And then John just fucking 21-0s him, and we're all wrong.
all right, well,
I don't want to be the guy that plays the loser of this game.
Yeah,
round two.
I agree.
This
One
is like
way or the other.
Or
This
the
is like
winner.
a round-
Either of those lists.
Yeah.
This is a round 4, round 5, like top table. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
it kind of sucks.
Both really
it's
great
it's
players.
good for the matchup cast, but
Yeah.
So next round we have, our next table is Ben Tersch versus Eamon Linger. So dwarf versus dwarf. Well, abyssal dwarf versus dwarf. And Ben actually has a few abyssal dwarfs in his list. Of course, they're decimators.
All right, so I'll start with Ben's list, I guess.
Mhm.
So he's playing Abyssal Dwarfs. He's got 2 troops of gargoyles, as you do. A horde of decimators with elite, which is, I think, auto. Include 2 golems. One has the Charnox upgrade.
But that's a
For
regiment.
the a regiment has. It's even. Is it the same point? Is it the same points of upgrade for regiment and the horde?
Yeah, it's a stock 8 attacks
Okay.
for 30 points. Yeah.
All right, and then he's got a horde of grotesques with healing brew. 2 heavy mortars because they're still amazing even after the nerf. A greater obsidian golem who was fearless 19, defense 6, and going to be hard to deal with. An iron caster that's got conjure staff, lightning bolt, and surge. And then overmaster with the blade of slashing. So it's 11 units, 16 unit strength, but a lot of it's defense 6. So
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's a tough nut to crack, and it's got a lot of killing power. So here we go with Eamon Linger's free dwarves, as opposed to Mike McCready's inferior imperial dwarves.
what can we call them? The American dwarfs, just because they're,
Freedom.
yeah.
No.
The Scottish.
No.
dwarf. Scottish
Is that what
dwarf.
you calls what's happening down there right now? Is that freedom?
All right, Mike, you want to do dwarves?
Yeah, I'm up. So Eamon's bringing a regiment of ironclad and a horde of ironclad, both naked. A regiment of Free Dwarf Rangers with the upgrade to Hernius' hand-picked Rangers, gaining stealthy and elite, on ranged only. 2 regiments of Brock Riders, one with striding and one with brew strength. 2 Greater Earth Elementals. 2 Free Dwarf Stone Priests, one with Martyr's Prayer, and one with Inspiring Talisman and Bane Chant, in addition to their usual surge. 1 Brock Lord on a Brock with a Blade of Slashing, and Sverri on his Hellbrock. 11 drops and 19 unit strength, so slight edge in unit strength, but the same amount of drops.
So got a fair bit. He's got the 2 big Greater Earth Elementals and the Ironclad for some higher defense. But those
So
Brock Riders do not want to see decimators.
No.
But
I'm
it's one
disappointed.
horde. It's one horde.
Yeah.
And am I living under a rock? Does Blessing of the Gods give them elite shooting? It would.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
elite across the board, so shooting
Yeah.
and melee.
It makes them awful, because then they're elite and vicious.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah, and they have
So
25
stacked.
attacks still, which, instead of most shooting units that have 20. Like, they're amazing.
They're only, a 12-inch shooting range, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
The 16-inch threat range.
16-inch threat range. I would have liked to have seen some throwing mastiffs on Eamon's list, I think, to help mitigate some of that stuff.
Yes.
But the heal, if he puts the greater elementals in front of the decimators, he can definitely heal the wounds back because they're not going to do a whole lot to them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Greater Earth Elemental is backed up by Martyr's Prayer.
I love greater earth elementals and Martyr's Prayer.
Yeah. And he's got the Berserker Brock Lord to mitigate the dragon.
Yeah.
And Sphere.
I am disappointed. Ben named his list Disgusting Abyssal Dwarves and didn't take any mortars.
He took 2 mortars.
He took two.
Did he?
mortars.
Did I miss those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Okay. Yep.
Ben sent me 3 screenshots, so I had to type his list into Easy Army. So I named it Disgusting Abyssal Dwarves as payback.
Well, yeah, that's fair. Mortars are disgusting. The mortars could be a problem. If they go off early, then that could be a real problem.
Well, yes, Fairy does not want. He's height 4.
Mm.
He does not want to see mortars on the other side of the table. Even because that piercing 2, that's enough.
Yeah. Spheri does mean that the Brock Riders outrange the Decimator's threat, at least.
Mm-hmm. And the grotesques.
And the grotesques.
But, there's gargoyles.
Yeah. It's going to be a good one. Yeah. It's going to be a really good fight.
So what do we say, guys?
I got to go free dwarves.
I'm going to go with the dwarfs as well, yeah.
I'm honestly still deciding. Hold on.
Evil dwarves, because good is dumb.
Solid logic. Words to live by.
I don't know. Do you guys rate like the Decimator rocket launcher upgrades? He didn't take them.
Horrible. They're horrible. The upgrade
is waste of points, huh?
Waste. The lesser, the golem shooting upgrade is actually not terrible. It's not super efficient, but it can be a real pain in the ass. I faced it a few times, and it's like you always forget about it, and it always does more damage than you think it will.
Yeah, and it gives you that whole shoot and surge option.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think this is honestly going to come down to the flying options on the Abyssal Dwarf list. Like the mortars are really good, but he has the Berserker Brock Lord to deal with them if he needs to.
But the Brock Lord's going to be tied up dealing with that dragon.
Yeah, he can't deal with the mortars and the dragon.
Yeah, but like even the gargoyles could be an issue later on. Like I know they don't hit like anything, but still flying around is a pain in the ass for dwarves. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the evil dwarves just because I just think it's a better army list in general, to be honest.
Well, just because to break the tie, I'm gonna vote Eamon because he sent me a PDF.
There.
It's not arbitrary at all.
No. Is the other guy using the actual grotesque models? Does anybody know, or is he just?
I think Ben's using pretty well all Mantic.
Is it all Mantic? Yeah, it's
he's got my vote. Those models are beautiful, in my opinion.
I
love them.
I didn't like it. I didn't like the studio paint job, but I've seen them painted up by various other people, and they look a lot better than they originally did.
I haven't actually seen them in person, so I guess I shouldn't be too quick to judge them.
All right, so we got the next table. We got Ted Brown versus Seth Copeland. So 2 newer players in the scene. Seth has been kind of lurking at Black Knight for a while. We played a few games before the pandemic. So Ted is bringing rats, so I'll read his list. A man of taste and culture. So he's bringing rat games, 2 hordes of warriors, a regiment of shock troops with blessing of the gods and plague pots, a troop of claw shots, 2 hordes of nightmares, one with mace of crushing, 2 weapons teams, a death engine impaler, a war chief, a swarm crier, and goblin allies, a legion of rabble, and 2 regiments of fleabag riders.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's a little atypical but interesting list. And then we got Seth Copeland with another ogre list. Who wants that one?
I'll take it because I was looking at it. It is 3 troops of Goblin Scouts, 2 hordes of warriors, both with Croc Dogs, a legion of warriors with Burrow Strength and Croc Dog, 2 hordes of Siege Breakers naked, a sergeant naked, 2 army standards both naked, and a warlord with a Croc Dog. And that is 23 unit strength with 12 drops.
Whole lot of naked ogres. All right. So what do you guys think?
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say for Ted's list, like the legion of goblins and then the 2 fleabag riders, that doesn't do anything that rats don't already do. So that has to be like a modeling choice.
Yeah, I think that was a modeling
Right.
choice.
Okay. I mean, like, you know, they function the same in rats or as goblins, right? It's not the end of the world one way or the other. But okay, that makes a little more sense.
Fleabag riders are maybe slightly better than hack paws.
Yeah, they're
faster.
They're faster.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Okay. But don't the hack paws have more? Aren't the hack paws have 16 attacks instead of 14?
I think
Fleabags are hack paws for their attacks.
Yeah, +1 attack, -1 speed.
Okay. So yeah, you know, similar enough that
for sure.
That they're not. He's not going to hurt himself by doing that.
Mostly interchangeable. Yeah.
Yeah. The Death Engine Impaler is an interesting choice too. You don't see that a lot. The any monster chariots really right now, but you know, still D6 +7 attacks isn't terrible. Crushing 2 with the vicious.
Yeah, defense 5, fearless.
Yep.
That's a thing.
And it's fairly fast, which is nice against that ogre list.
Yeah, speed 8 is going to make a difference in this game. But hey, the nightmares are good. You know, that will also help.
Mm-hmm. Claw shots are amazing. The weapons teams are amazing. So it's really going to come down to how much damage you can do before they engage. Really, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think in part, you know, the weapons teams and nightmares are going to be close in, so it's going to be like when things get close, how much can he pick up before on the second on the counter attack. It's not necessarily going to be a counter charge for Ted. It's going to be a counter attack with the shooting, and that's going to be
if those warriors can absorb the siege breaker charge, and then you can kind of pick stuff off of the weapons teams. The nightmares might be okay. Oh, I think ogres are going to be a tough matchup for this Ratkin list, no matter what.
Yeah, nightmares without piercing, it's tricky.
Yeah,
but I mean, a legion of those goblins. Their defense 4, like that's 25, 27 nerve. Like that's going to take a long time to chew through.
Yeah, Ted definitely has a lot of nerve.
Yeah,
you know, but a legion of warriors can pretty much delete anything it touches.
Well, the Legion of Warriors, yes.
So,
but
I'll say 2 hordes of siege breakers and 2. Seth has a lot of attacks. He doesn't have any shooting, but he's got a lot of attacks to put out. And those, you know, the ogre characters are great chaff, great flankers. So,
yeah, I mean, I think the siege breakers are going to save his butt here. But you know, like a legion of warriors, in my experience, ogre players can't play with that footprint. That's reserved. That's reserved to orcs. Only an orc player can wield such a footprint as that, and it's gonna cause him issues. So I'm voting rats. Sorry.
All right. What else you got? Who else is voting?
I'm voting rats as well, just because there's going to be so much on the battlefield space-wise that legion of ogres is just going to have a hard time getting the charges it wants to get.
Fair point.
Yeah. You know, against a more elite army, the legion probably would do much better. But I think in this matchup, it's going to struggle.
Yeah, I think the rats will have an advantage on the scenario play, and if he can block up Seth's heavy hitters, he'll have a good chance of pulling this one out. So I'm going to vote rats.
I'm gonna be the black sheep again and vote ogres. I'm looking at the rats list and I'm just trying to figure out what's gonna actually hit hard enough to kill any of the ogres, and it's just the nightmares and the death engine, I guess.
I know from my perspective as a rat general, if that list, I don't think I would want to see this ogre list. So
yeah, I just don't see how he kills anything really. He might kill off the hordes of warriors, but that legion will be there all game. And Sure, it might get gummed up, but after he starts killing the smaller stuff troops of scouts and hordes of warriors, then it'll free it up. Turn 5 or 6. That's gonna be a huge deal, I think.
Yeah, I think it's gonna really depend on how long Ted can keep shooting. Basically,
That's true. If he had like 3 things of claw shot or 2 things of claw shots, I'd 100% give it to him. But I think just one's not enough to do it.
You just got to waver that Legion. That's it. It's over.
That's true, actually. That's a very good point. I didn't
Yeah, and you know, I mean, I'm telling you, he's gonna be befuddled. He's gonna be befuddled by that footprint.
you heard it here first, folks.
Befuddled.
Befuddled Ogre General gets
So are we 2-2
blocked
right
up
now?
by
Are we
Legion.
3-2?
It's 3-2. So
Okay.
For the rats.
All right.
All right. So second last table, we have Jesse Bilbia versus Robert Shoering. So Jesse's list. He's
Jesus.
bringing the real cheese.
That ain't
Yeah.
fair, dude.
Shocker. So we got Jesse's bringing undead. He says pure 1995. I think it's pure bullshit. Is what.
Is this one me again?
Yep.
All right, we got 2 hordes of zombies, 2 regiments of bullshit Soul Reapers, one with Staying Stone, one with Dwarven Ale, 2 troops of Rev Cav, 2 hordes of Whites, one with Haste and one with Caterpillar, 1 Vampire and Undead Pegasus, a Rev King, 2 Rev Kings, one both mounted on horses, and one with the Mace of Crushing. I think they come standard with Surge 5, but I could be wrong there.
He added it in. Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
All right, so classic double undead.
Classic disgusting.
We're gonna take Matt's list. Is it
Yeah.
Langtree?
No, it's
No, it's
Robert
Shearing.
Shoering.
Robert.
Oh.
Here we go. Green Lady with shooting. Inspired title. So who's up? K2.
I'll
Or
take
you-
it.
Yeah.
So we got Brotherhood of the Green Lady. So 2 regiments of Naiad Heart Piercers. A regiment of Order of the Brotherhood with Brew of Strength, Vial of Sacred Water, and the Green Lady upgrade as you do, right? Given Pathfinder. Order of Redemption Regiment, Brew of Sharpness. Order of the Forsaken Regiment, Pipes of Terror. And another regiment of Forsaken with Brew of Haste. 2 regiments of Woodland Critters. And 2 Beasts of Nature with Wains. And the Exemplar Redeemer, Blade of the Beast Slayer, mounted a Winged Unicorn. So that's 19 unit strength, 11 drops.
All right.
Do the woodland critters fly, or no? They just
do.
speed 6 nimble. Okay.
They do.
Yeah, they fly.
They fly.
Yeah,
Fly, Pathfinder Nimble Vicious.
the little waterfowl birds and stuff. Yeah.
Tank,
Those are
tank.
going to be
ducks.
annoying to deal with. They're just
Yep.
cheaper, slightly worse gargoyles, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that undead list is like, it's like, I don't know that player, but
That's the net list.
I don't like him.
I'll say it.
I don't like it.
Peak efficiency. It's a
Yeah.
highly distilled undead list.
Yeah, but it's like, oh look, pure 1995. It's like, shut up. You play undead. You have like a great army list with all kinds of variety. You can do anything you want in any formation and whatever flavor. It's like, I'm not impressed. All right, so he's gonna win. He's gonna win. But good for you, dude.
Jesus.
You got a slow clap from K2 there, Jesse.
and I am the reigning best sportsman of Canada till
True, actually.
until this happens. So
Yeah.
I'm burning it down on this.
You are
on this cast.
You're the arbiter of good play.
Yes, it's poor taste. Poor taste.
So
Robert's
For
list
Robert,
is
I-
actually really good. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah,
Justin.
I will say, like, Jesse's only got the 2 sources of surge, and Robert kind of out threats him with most of his army. It's either speed 8 or speed 10. So it's really going to be about. I think the chaff game in this game is going to matter, like how the troops of revenants versus the woodland critters, or like which one's going to get in the way longer, right? Because they're both going to suck to kill.
Man, I mean, my money's on the Revenant Cav.
Well, the Rev Cav, but the woodland critters can jump over the Rev Cav too. So you've also got that. So I don't. And the orders of the Forsaken, like you got the 22-inch threat range on the Forsaken horde. Like I don't know. I think Robert's got a chance in this game.
I will say that Brotherhood list is like deceptively good. Like it is a good army list.
It can't grind at all, right? So
right.
But it's got to hit whatever it hits and kill it.
It's got to be cagey. You gotta be cagey with it. Yeah.
Those heart piercers, I'm telling you, those heart piercers are going to be money in the bank for Robert.
Literally thinking that other than saying that Dad's going to win. That's really what's going to make the difference is those heart piercers.
Yeah. Other than the zombie hordes, not much in Jesse's list has higher than 17 nerve. So it's definitely possible with the heart piercers, and if you can concentrate some of those charges, it'll help you popping stuff quickly.
And middle nerve armies are tough. Like spiky nerve can really screw over your day.
Yeah.
So, and he's got he's got 3 nimble flyers, and he's got the 2 regiments of Forsaken to get flanks. It's going to be tricky. Jesse's a really good player, but Robert's really good too, and he's been playing Green Lady for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gave me a tough go in that last online tournament with the Green Lady. If I hadn't had some luck early on, it was going to go downhill very quick.
Yeah. So,
was Robert playing Abyssals at last King Beyond the Wall?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He has so many armies. He's like, I remember before this, he was switching like every tournament with like a fully painted army. It was kind of nuts. All right, so what do we got to say? We know what K2's saying.
Yeah.
Well, I want to soften it a little bit. I didn't mean to like really drag him through.
Drag Jesse through the mud. He deserves every bit of it.
It's totally okay.
Yeah. All right.
Jesse flips between undead and abyssal dwarves. So
yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
and the only thing better than 3 anchor heavy mortars is 3 anchor heavy mortars and another mortar. Because why not?
And 2 hordes of decimators.
And
I'm honestly just glad this isn't his multiple Revenant horde list, because that would be even worse.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't have time to paint it. This is going to be a freshly painted army for him, and this is going to be the brightest table in the room. You're going to be able to see it from outside through the walls. You're going to have to wear sunglasses inside for this.
Perfect. I'm gonna actually give it to the Green Lady, to be honest with you, because I just think, like you said, those heart piercers are going to be a big difference. If he can kill those troops of Revenant Cav, he's chilling. Like I think, like he outcharges everything. He has to look up for surges, I guess, and the Beasts of the Nature are going to do a big amount of work late game, like turn 4. I would say they're going to be a big problem for the undead.
All right,
I think it's an underdog pick, but I'm going to go Green Lady as well. I think if he can focus those charges, he can pull us out.
I also am going Green Lady. I know Robert's been playing a couple games in person, at least. I don't know if Jesse's been playing in person or just been online. But I think that Green Lady list has the tools to beat that list.
All right.
Don't let us down, Robert.
I also just don't want to play Jesse's list, so I hope he loses a lot.
That's true. It's like a list Alex would rate, I think. Similar.
Well, it is very similar to my list that I used last Call to Arms.
Yeah,
I think it's a similar list every
I did not enjoy it.
Yeah, I think we played a pickup game on UB with something similar last summer.
We did.
Jesse's coming for you, Mike.
I don't have my Rangers to pull a lucky nerve check off on a Vampire and Pegasus this time.
All right, so that's a clean sweep for the Green Lady.
Well, no, I think
no.
No, Jesse's gonna pound that Green Lady.
Oh, okay.
In the dirt.
Okay. Sorry, I misconstrued your comments, KT.
No,
there you go. Okay, so
K2's
KT's
like
going
it,
for
but I
undead.
think that's gonna win.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, 3-1 for Robert. Next
Alex
table
just isn't voting anymore, I guess.
Well, I'm
Nice
only going to
guy.
vote for him to break ties because
Oh, okay.
you're the guest. I'm just hosting. I'm just
Right.
here. I'm just here to facilitate.
Right.
You're doing a bang up job.
So we got another. We got Mike LaHaye versus Tim Wright. Tim's coming from out in Eastern Ontario. I think he's coming down with Ray. He had a couple practice games with Ray recently. And Mike has his new Northern Alliance army that he's freshly painted for the event. I think he was finishing up his Frost Giant this afternoon.
Nice.
So here we go. Who's next?
Is it back to me?
Is it back to me or who is it? We'll let Justin read.
All right. So Mike's Northern Alliance list, King Beyond the Wall, has got 2 Dwarf Clansman regiments, 2 regiments of Snow Foxes. It's got 2 hordes of Ice Elementals. One has Hans for the Life Leech 1. It's got a Tundra Wolf regiment, which is sneaky good with Jesse's boots. So get that 1 use Strider to make that Thunderous Charge actually stick. It's got a Cavern Dweller as well. It's a pain in the butt. A Lord on Frostfang with the Healing Brew and Snow Fox. An Ice Queen with the Tome of Darkness and Surge 8. An Ice Blade with the wings. That's a great choice. And Harim. I like that Ice Blade with the wings.
Yeah,
like
I love that.
That D3 Wild Charge is amazing.
I love Wild Charge on Flyers. You know that, Justin. And then what's Tim's list? He's bringing dwarves. More dwarves.
Dwarves of the Wall. So we have the King Beyond the Wall, Northern Alliance, right?
And the dwarves under the wall.
That's pretty presumptuous, isn't it?
It's true. That is.
Anyways, Dwarves of the Wall.
Especially with all the shooting on this list.
Two hordes of Ironclad, naked. A regiment of Iron Guard, Mace of Crushing, 5 points. 2 regiments of Shield Breakers, naked. 2 regiments of Rangers. 2 massive Hunting Pack regiments. 2 Lead Belcher cannon. 2 Lead Belcher organ guns. A Dwarf Lord with Wings of the Honey Maze, because we're going to have a flying character dance off.
Yeah.
Warsmith with a Sacred Horn. And a Dwarf Army Standard Bearer. With Loot of Insatiable Darkness. I was going to say, that dude's 75 points? No. But yes. Okay, and that is 25 unit strength. Holy cow. 16 units drops. So
he packed a lot of stuff into 1995.
That's a lot of drops for 1995.
a lot of beef.
Mm-hmm.
And for having 4 cannons to have 25 unit strength is amazing.
Yeah. Seriously.
This would be a perfect list to throw throwing masses on, though.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah. What height? And do we have some tall units in that Northern Alliance army?
We do.
That
Yeah. Lots of it.
Yeah, lots of tall stuff. There's the Cavern Dweller. There's Ice Elementals are kind of tall. We got Lord on Frostfang and Hrim.
So what do we think? I mean, how much unit strength is the Alliance guy got?
20. 12 units, 20 unit strength.
Yeah.
What I think right now is it's Mike, is it? Mike LaHaye?
Yeah.
I don't think he's making it beyond the wall, if I'm being honest with you.
Oh.
I don't think he's even going to get close to the wall. That's a lot of shooting, and that's a lot of elite shooting. It's going to be rough.
Well,
It's not that much shooting. It's not that much.
2 cannons and 2 organ guns are deceptive. They look like they're
And they're elite because of the character too.
That's true.
The 9, yeah.
The Rangers also.
His placement will be important, but 2 cannons can make a Lord on Frostfang and a Cavern Dweller very uncomfortable.
They can also shit the bed too.
That's true.
Yep.
But they're elite also. You gotta think of that. So they're less likely to shit the bed. But the thing is if his shooting pops off turn 1, that's gonna be game over.
Yeah. So I think Mike has a chance if he can kind of hide in the terrain for a couple turns, right? Because everything in his army has Strider, right? Because it's Northern Alliance. So nothing really cares about it. Well, I guess the Ice Elementals don't, but they're going to shoot and surge.
Mhm.
But like the Lord on Frostfang has Strider, the Cavern Dweller has Strider, Harim, I'm assuming, has Strider. He's a giant. He should have Strider.
Yeah.
So like a lot of these juicy targets, I don't know. It's tough that's gonna be tough for Mike.
Yeah.
So
It's also a little bit of target saturation, right? So like
Mhm.
he's only got the 2 cannons and the 2 organ guns, and there's a lot of things you want to be shooting at in that list.
yeah.
I think he really needs his shooting to kill stuff because shield breakers, maybe rangers are the only thing. They have crushing one. There's not a lot of killing power in his actual units. He's got a lot of unit strength, but he doesn't have a lot of punch other than the cannons.
Yeah, I mean, I think instead of the organ guns, I would have tried to put dogs on everything. I don't know. I mean, I played Mike Rossi at Crossroads, and it was like all just a bunch of vanilla dwarves, but they all had dogs, and the dogs had dogs, and everything was dogs. And Great Axe Horde just got chewed to bits.
Yeah, those dogs can be surprising.
Yeah. So, of course, I'm defense 4 for the most part.
How many attacks does the Ice Blade have? Is it 6?
6, yep.
6, and are they elite? I'm just trying to think if he's going to have a decent chance of killing a defense 5 orange in one go.
No
Crush
elite.
1.
No.
Crush 1. Not. He's got duelist, but it's not going to help against the war engines. It's not.
Yeah, that's just their defense 5 too, which is the worst part about those war engines.
He's not going to be able to kill it in one turn. Or I can't. He'll be lucky to kill a cannon in one turn. If the Warsmith's hanging back there, it will be inspired as well, right?
Yep.
So
yeah.
And the Warsmith can run some interference if he gets too close without charging.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
So what are we saying, guys?
North Lord to hold him up too. The wings.
Yep.
I love you, Mike, but I got to go for Tim here. Like I don't. It's going to be a tough match for you.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to go with Tim also just because I feel like after Mike gets to him, they're just going to bounce off each other. And if they're playing like Dominate or something that's like unit strength based, it's going to come down to who has better objective control, I think. But I think the shooting's going to win it out.
All right.
Yeah, Mike's got more crushing, but less volume of attacks when he actually gets into melee. That's a tough one. I'm gonna go Northern Alliance. I think he can soften him up and use that Strider to his advantage.
All right, K2.
Oh man, I don't have a dog in this race. I'm gonna go with. Let me just. Yeah. Dwarves.
All right,
Final answer.
3-1 for dwarves. I would have voted for Mike LaHaye if it counted, but doesn't matter.
I'm switching my thing then.
All right, so last table. We have Chris Murphy versus Matt Langtree. So Chris Murphy's the only American who's going to try and make it over the border.
No, the
With
fucking legend.
All of the hoops. He's jumping through all of them.
K2 didn't want to get the nose swab,
Yeah.
I not get my brain poked.
See,
Didn't want to defend your title, K2.
He's got.
It's the test you got to get within 3 days, and then the other one you got to get at the border.
Yeah.
Just one. You just have to go one.
I just came back from a 800-mile trip vacation, so I could show up. You never know.
All right.
I could just show up.
There's a spot for you.
New Brunswick, if you're going to show up, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
Just make that a 1,200-mile trip.
Just tacos and make it work, dude.
All right. So we got Matt Langtree bringing Undead. Jarvis Undead. Good guy Undead. Also, probably, I'm not gonna say anything, but one of the favorites for best painted, I'll say.
He's been posting some previews of those units, and just the basing is crazy.
Yeah, amazing stuff. He's working on it throughout the whole, for 2 years now. So
think he might have painted more units than last week than he did the rest of the 2 years, though.
That's true too. I think he
That's
painted like an entire zombie horde in the last week or two, which is super fast for him. And you'll see why when you see it up close, because it's amazing. So we got
I have not
Undead
seen any of these previews, but anyway.
Undead
continue.
with Jarvis. So we got Jarvis, obviously, 2 hordes of zombies, a horde of revenants with fire oil, 2 troops of Revcav, werewolves with boots of striding, 2 hordes of whites, 1 with meat of madness, a gore blight, 2 necromancers, 1 with shroud, bane chant, and heal, 1 with inspiring talisman, bane chant, and heal.
Is it just the one inspiring source in that list? Oh, I'm Jarvis.
Jarvis. Yeah.
Jarvis is very inspiring as well.
Right.
So. And he has an extra 6 inches on all of his spells, so he's quite a toolbox.
Yeah.
Then we have Chris Murphy bringing
Do you want to take it? Or...
Basileans. Who's got it?
I'll take it. So Basileans, he's got a regiment of Paladin Knights with the Potion of the Caterpillar and Aegis Fragment. He has another regiment of Paladin Knights with Striding and Aegis Fragment. 3 troops of Gur Panthers. A horde of Alohi with Brew of Strength. 2 regiments of Alohi. Don't know how to pronounce that at all.
We'll say Gnaeus Salustis.
Gnaeus Salustis.
There you go.
I've never even seen that unit, to be honest with you. Julius, because he should. A priest with Shroud, Bane Chant, mounted on the horse. And that is 18 unit strength and 11 units total.
So we got Basileans versus Undead. 3 hammers in each list.
Quite a heavy speed advantage for the Basileans.
Just gonna say.
Yeah. Julius is amazing. Gnaeus I think is highly underrated.
I played a couple of games against him recently. He's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Height 4, speed 9, nimble, large cav. That's for 180 points. He's a screaming deal. In Alohi, they got nerfed and all, but regiments are still very good. And a horde with Brew of Strike still going to hit like a truck.
Yeah,
that's true.
But they've got 2 hordes of whites and a horde of werewolves on the other side of the board.
Right.
With Surge. He's got 3 Surgers. He's got a fair bit of heal. So. And
the zombie and the Revenant hordes might be interesting in this matchup because there's something that the Basileans can't get through immediately unless you can get multi-charges off.
Yeah, the Basileans have high quality attacks. They don't have a high volume. And then 3 hordes of infantry. The Gore Blight is in there for Surge shenanigans once things get up close.
Well, and the Cloak of Death is amazing, right?
Yep.
Although you got Iron Resolve, so it's kind of, in this matchup, it's not the best.
Not as good, but...
No, but it gets you that 1 point of damage for your nerve check, at least. I guess it's just kind of brutal in this matchup instead of Cloak of Death.
Yeah, brutal or dread or whatever.
Yeah.
But I know Chris has done well with Basileans. He's been playing this army for a little while now. Matt hasn't really been... we haven't had events up here, so...
Matt's quite good with his orcs. I haven't seen him with the undead yet.
Yeah, he's still a high-quality player, and he was quite good with his orcs. So I think play-wise, I think players are, they're both good players.
It's going to be a very pretty table.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Chris's armies always look great, too.
Man, it's going to be a nice game. Chris Murphy's a mensch of a player. He's probably going to get that best sports plate. He's my dark horse for that.
Chris Murphy's the dark horse for best sports? Come on.
I'm not sure that you understand the meaning of dark horse there, Kate.
I'm just saying, you might get a little carried away with that, with the booze in the cellar there of the Veterans Hall. But
that's true too.
You could put some noses at a joint, after hours. You got to play the room, Chris.
Especially if he's the only American. There's nobody else to soften his...
It's true.
Yeah. We'll see how many times he introduces himself to me this time.
That's fair.
and to be fair, like Chris hasn't played that many games with his Basileans. He's just played, 6 games at Masters and 5 at Crossroads. So
Mhm.
I don't know, but he's also like intelligent. Damn
True,
it,
he's intelligent.
yeah. And I've beat him once, I think, and I did it purely from intimidation,
Right.
intimidating table presence.
I'm sure that's what it
Just
was.
shouting across the table at them.
Yeah, and yeah. So I mean, I think I like the sound of the undead Jarvis list, and I want to see pictures or see this in person.
Make it happen.
But I know, right? But I think Chris is kind of, he's gonna do the Chris thing. He's from Connecticut. They're like they're totally different down there. I mean, there's Yankees, and then there's Connecticut Yankees.
Yeah.
And they're just
not
not.
like Meg. It's just crazy.
Huh?
I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So
It's terrible thing. Connecticut people are awful.
And it's
They're the
like
worst.
Chris isn't even gonna have to go across the border because he's just gonna take his yacht up here. So I mean, like,
Yeah.
No. He's gonna totally pull the wool over everybody's eyes, just like Connecticut people do. They've been doing it for centuries.
I don't need a nasal swab. You're right,
Yeah.
Chris Murphy. Get on over here.
Yeah. So I mean, they are just. I'm sorry that the one representative of the United States is from Connecticut. I mean, truly. But of all the Connecticut people, I mean, Chris Murphy's not a terrible one, but he is a very nice guy. He is intelligent. I think he's going to win.
Wow. Like
All
the
right.
whole thing, or what?
No, most certainly not. Most
Wow.
certainly not.
All right.
all right.
I
What
think-
else? Who else?
I
got
think
their
Chris
vote?
has a good chance, primarily because his speed advantage. And like you guys have said, he hasn't played this list a lot that I know of. I really don't know. I haven't played against Chris ever, but I know he plays a lot of undead. So using the speed in the same sense as like using Surge, I think he'll be able to make it work.
That's a good point.
That being said, I really like the Jarvis list, and that's like a list I've really wanted to make for a long time. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah, and like Basileans, I'm sorry, they're just so lame.
It's true. Like, I have to give it the
Boring.
Jarvis list.
Talking about
Uh,
playing the good
that's-
guys.
The good undead.
I mean,
it's
aren't
just-
they really the bad guys though? Because Jarvis is a good guy, right?
I
So
mean-
the Basileans are kind of definitely they're not good people. They're just, even though they're good aligned.
Jarvis is all about freedom, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
all that being said, I'm voting Chris Murphy. I think his list it's got all the tools to do that alpha strike thing that it does, and as long as he can avoid the tar pits when he needs to avoid the tar pits, he'll be fine.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the naysayer here, and I'm gonna vote for Matt. I think with the surge, he can pull off some sneaky moves here and get rid of those angels and those stupid knights.
Yeah, so I think it's a tie there, Alex.
All right.
Yeah,
Well-
Matt, watch the scenario because Chris is going to be playing the scenario, so be careful.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna-
Another
I'm
tips
gonna-
I wanna give him.
I'm gonna vote Matt. I'm gonna vote Matt because it's one of the armies that I'm most looking forward to seeing this weekend in person.
There you go.
And then it's not a matchup, but just in case anyone doesn't make it over the border or can't make it, we'll do a quick little. Just look at the ringer list. So just bask in all the rats. So we got ringer rats. So we got 5 regiments of warriors, 2 hordes of shock troops, brewer strengths with plague pots, and heavy halberds. I got Potion of the Caterpillar, plague pots, and halberds in the other horde. 2 hordes of wretches, a regiment of tunnel runners with brewer sharpness, a brood mother, a war chief mounted on a flea bag with mournful blade, a brute enforcer with loot of insatiable darkness, and the tangle. So 14 units, 29 unit strength.
It's pretty good.
So no shooting, but it's going to force whoever faces me to play the scenario.
I'm going to make a bold prediction. That list wins 0 games.
All right.
We'll see.
Really going on a limb there, huh?
Yeah. No one to play, no games to win. All right, guys. So we're gonna go through the list or through the panel, top down. So we're gonna go who our dark horse pick is. So Jay, keeping in mind you're gonna have a favorite as well.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna give the dark horse to. Let me just look through the list again really quick.
And just for the viewers at home, dark horse is just someone who's gonna sneak in and maybe do a little better or a lot better than
Expect.
you might think. Slip under the radar.
I'm probably going to give it to Robert, to be honest with you, Robert Sherwing, because I really like that list. I just think it's solid in general.
Cool, good pick.
I'm going to go with Erasmus, actually. I don't think his list is going to 5-0, but I think he's got a real good chance of going 4-1.
Nice.
He's got, again, just those Dread Fiends and the Flesh Ripper. Like, those things do work.
Yep. They give a lot of people a lot of problems. How about you, Mike?
Well, I was going to say Robert, but I think I might go with Mike LaHaye as the dark horse. I think that Northern Alliance list has some tools that can make it pretty interesting.
Yep.
All right. So my dark horse will be Jesse's Undead.
After his round 1 loss, he'll come back. He'll come back to do.
Yeah.
He'll come back to do better than expected.
Yeah.
He has claimed that he will win my tournament that I'm running for the 3rd time. So, well, no pressure, Jesse. So, I'll go my dark horse. So I'm not going to pick my rats.
The Ringer Rats.
Ringer Rats, dark horse. I'm going to go with Matt Langtree's Undead. I know it's a new list for him.
Yeah.
He hasn't played much in the last 18 months, but I think he's going to end up doing pretty well at the end of the weekend with that list. So let's go for our favorites. We can go favorites to win, favorite list as well. Just go 2 for 2 right on the list. So, Jay?
My favorite to win, it's a toss-up between a couple people. Matt is one of them. I really think that list is strong. I played against it, and it's like you look at it and you're like, oh, I can do well against this list, and then you just get erased in 2 turns, and you're like, maybe I can't do well against this list. Yeah, it's tough. I'm gonna go with Matt for my favorite to win, and my favorite list. I have to give it to Langtree. I really like the Jarvis, and I've never really seen anybody play with it, and I think it's just awesome. So, we go with him.
Cool. Justin?
My vote to win is going to be Ray Shields. I think that list is deceptively amazing. And my favorite list is actually Mike McCready's. I think it's got the tools to deal with a lot of different armies in a lot of different scenarios. Like, I think it's a very good, well-rounded list, especially at 1995.
Thanks, Justin.
And Mike?
I think Ray Shields is going to take it too, to be honest. That Trident Realm list is going to cause a lot of people a lot of headaches with that many nimble bullshit things running around.
Plus the regen, plus the ensnare,
yeah. It's tough. It's a tough list to get through. It looks soft, but it's going to be difficult to beat. My favorite list might actually be Robert's. I really like that Green Lady list. It's pretty close to one I've been trying to make work, so I hope he's successful with it.
Cool. K2, do we have to guess what your favorite list is? Or
no, it's Matt Van Buren.
Well, yeah,
the Orc list. I mean, obviously, and he's going to win the whole thing. He's going to win it all. So he's got. So the Fight Wagon unit is so hard to work into an orc list, and he's got two of them. They're not 2 legions, but that's like impossible almost. But man, I want that list to win so bad, and it's obviously my favorite. And I'm rooting for Matt.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thanks for contributing, guys. I wish
You didn't make your picks, Alex.
Oh, I can't pick. I'm running the tournament.
You gotta
I can't
pick.
You got to
You
pick.
just do us all like that, Alex.
All right. Well, since Jesse's using a version of my undead list from last year, I'll say that's my favorite list, and he's the favorite to win. Just to put a little
Oh,
extra pressure on him.
You just said he's gonna win your tournament, and you're just being like, yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Come on.
Guys,
I just want to put a little extra pressure on him.
Okay.
Everybody's going to have an amazing time at this tournament. I'm very sad that I more than likely won't be there. I will tell people to bring your darts, because that's what I would have done if I made it. It's like a whole bring
They got a
darts.
whole wall of them, yeah.
Darts. Like it's an amazing venue. I don't know if the bar is going to be cooking in the downstairs.
Yep.
It is.
Bar's gonna be open downstairs. We're
It's a
getting
great
pizza
tournament.
from the
It's
same place
awesome.
as last time.
It was really, I think, my favorite tournament of 2019. So it's going to be a great time. I wish everybody happy wargaming and have a great time.
It could be worse, K2. You could be an hour away across Lake Ontario, waving at them, crying.
I would probably jump in that lake. I would skate across, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's an awesome tournament. I would totally be there if I could. Like, I messed my back up earlier this month, but if I didn't, I would 100% be there. Like,
Well,
I've
you
been
guys
waiting
will
all
be
year for
missed.
this tournament.
And just a heads up, we're going to be running a 1-day tournament in December at Black Knight Games, and then another 2-day GT either in February or March.
Ooh.
So
right.
hopefully border situation will be a little more settled by then. Everyone is all invited. The Black Knight has an amazing new gaming area, so we're going to have enough room for like over 30 or 40 people. So
Yeah, I want to see their new edition when I can ever get up there, because it looks awesome in Facebook pictures and whatnot.
So is that in Hamilton, Black Knight?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just up on the. It's like just up on the mountain, like just 5-10 minutes away from where we are.
Yeah. I will definitely be at whatever day you decide to do that.
Awesome. Well, thanks for contributing your opinions, guys, and best of luck to all the players this weekend. I can't wait to see you on Friday. Have a good night, guys.
Go Orcs.
Thank you.
See ya.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.